Welcome to the Empowered Dancers podcast, where we talk openly about all things empowerment in the salsa, bachata and kizomba scene. Join me as I talk about the highs and lows of Latin dancing, as well as interviewing some incredible people on their stories, experiences and points of view, both in the dance scene and beyond. Go to empowereddancers.com/5 ways for 5 tips to boost your confidence on the social dance floor. I'm Bobby Miles, that's Bobby with an IE and Miles as in distance. Dancing is something that gives us confidence. It's something that makes us feel amazing, but taking those first steps into the dance space is not that easy, especially if you've come from a place where you have no experience of dancing. And this is where Coach Will comes in. Will is a bachata teacher and coach based in Switzerland, and he helps non-dancers and beginners to take their first steps into the world of bachata. And he's fueling this with confidence, building self-esteem and personal growth as you start your journey into bachata. Welcome, Will.
Hello, thank you very much for having me. Very happy to be here.
Thank you as well. I'm thrilled to have you here. Will, can you start us off by telling us, how did you get into dancing in a snapshot?
Okay, so for me, it's been like over a decade now that I've been dancing bachata, a bit of a Cuban salsa too. And as I started, I really fell in love with it. It get me to travel around, chasing festival parties from Cuba to Thailand and all around Europe. And finally moved to Switzerland after 17 years in London, and started to share my passion with people. And slowly I understand that teaching can get more than just learning a few steps. It can really empower people, make them feel more confident, and and enjoying more the dance floor, the social, and meet people, and enjoying whatever I enjoy also myself as a dancer. So I'm really happy to be on the scene and be able to take people to their first step into the social dancing.
Oh, that's brilliant. Because we have loads of wonderful teachers out there across the world who they have beginners programs that bring students in, and it's a wonderful gateway into building and growing. But their real zone of genius is in their improver, intermediate, plus levels. It's
Yes.
fantastic to see that you're championing the beginners. Let's have them as my focus. Those are the ones that I want to see thrive and then go on and do whatever it is they do next. What
Yes.
inspired you to be like, I want to be the champion for beginners, to bring dancers in?
That's my own story, my own experience that I had when I started bachata and salsa in London. I've often been skipping some classes or skipping just going to the social because I was not sure of my level. So, I'm not dancing good enough. And when I was there, it was just standing by the bar and not being able to ask no one to dance. And the few times when you collect the courage to go and by being challenged to say, do you know how to dance? Do you dance on one or two? Like, it was really frightening. And of course, with time in classes and, building more confidence as I was learning the bachata, it came easier with time. But it is true that I didn't find this support with teachers.
Yeah.
So it's something that I learned to have for myself. Kind of, what I like to call is the transfer of skills. I am a stuntman and a chef as a job, and I'm really confident as a stunt performer and as a chef. And I was telling myself, why can I not be as confident when I dance? So using those feelings that I have doing something that I'm very confident on, try to bring that same feeling into the dancing. And then I realized that, yeah, it's okay, but it took time and effort.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. And it's amazing what you said there about, well, you're so confident being a stuntman. You're very
Yes.
confident in your skills as a chef because you've had that time and that framework to grow in that space. And it's true, we get into dancing and people, if I tell them about dancing, they say, "Oh, I can't dance."
Mhm.
And I kind of say, well, have you ever tried? And a lot of people think, well, no, but I don't think I can dance. No. And it's that lack of confidence, lack of desire to step into the unknown that it
Mhm.
is scary. And the way you're doing it is not just come and learn bachata. Could you tell us a bit more about how you would introduce what you do to a non-dancer?
Okay. So the first thing is I have my assessment level
Hmm.
towards musicality, movement in kind of general, focus on the bachata. So it really helped me already know if the person on himself, how he feel about herself, what dancing will make in her life. Is he just going to be a hobby, or is going to help me meeting new people, to be more confident, to know what is beyond learning bachata? This is my primary objective to know.
The reason
So,
why.
yes,
Aha,
finding the
yes.
why. And when we establish the why, we build on using the bachata because there's so many place where you can learn. You got focus on the steps, on the body movement, the musicality, or the partner work. So there's very different aspect that we can focus on to bring up this personality. And but knowing the why and why is important to learn and grow as a bachata dancer or just to step into the dancing is the most important thing because this is what we're going to build the commitment and the consistency with the work. If we don't have why are we doing something in the first place?
Mm,
So
that's
it's really to have this, the bachata as a tool to empower ourselves for to be self-confidence, to have a build a self-esteem and getting out step by step out of the comfort zone.
that's beautiful. So it's not just learn some moves,
Yeah.
it's grow as a person.
Yes, exactly. And it's as I grow, as my students grow, it make me grow too because you always learn from everybody. Like I said, dancing with a beginner or someone that just learn is a learning experience because sometimes you realize that you build a different type of connection with any person we dance,
Mm.
and maybe the wrong step is the right step into a new growth. Oh, I didn't realize that I could do that step like that too. It's not what I intend to, but it kind of gives me an idea for something new to learn. So there's nothing really wrong. And can you really specify something that is right or wrong when we dancing and create?
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, everything is good to take and personalize and work with it, and yeah, having a really good time dancing.
Yeah, that's so true. When a mistake happens in dancing, it's a mistake in that it wasn't intended, but as soon as it's happened, it's what's happened, and it can be the start of the next step or whatever it is. It kind
Yes,
of it plays off the energy of the partner. You're both there to have fun. If your why is to have fun and engage and connect with each other, then the mistakes don't matter. They just serve as inspiration, as you said.
yes, exactly. And as I build my confidence as a leader, I was like really like, how can I lead better to make my partner understand my communication better as a dancer? So it wasn't never that I feel that no, she didn't do it right. So I just may not have communicate this well enough. So maybe there is a way for me to move in a different way because I realize that not everything work with the same partner depending of their level. You
Yeah.
get it's this is where it is a teamwork.
Yes. Yeah,
You
it
cannot
is
just do
teamwork.
it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself because you're a leader. And this is what I was telling to one of my students is leader doesn't mean that you're the leader, you're the chef. It means that you lead the course of the dance, but it's a teamwork. And as a follower, your work is to facilitate that lead and to keep the connection, and you're both working towards the same goal of getting lead by the music. The music guide the dance and we
Yes.
dance through it. So for that, yeah, for me, it was really important, and is always a way to improve this and implement with different partner as a leader or follower. It's
Mm.
really it can be a really wonderful things to do when we take out the stereotype. I know sometimes leader, follower, lady style, guy style is styling
Yeah.
and it's a
Yeah.
dance. It cannot happen without the others. So if his partner work, it's together.
Yes. 100%. It is teamwork. And
Mhm.
as soon as you lose that idea of teamwork, why are you dancing with someone else? Might as well dance on your own if it's not going to be a collaboration.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. Oh, that's such an important part to bring in that neither person feels they are passive in the dance. It's two people.
Yes, definitely.
Mm.
Or free. Now, those days, we have a. No, it's
Now it
actually
can be free.
it's beautiful because I like this aspect. But with even the role changing,
Mhm.
it get me to learn a little bit more about the following roles.
Nice.
So it helped me getting a better leader because
Yeah.
I have a better understanding of actually the movement that you need to be doing as a follower. So it really complements the each roles to learn both. And I think it would be beneficial for everybody time to time to have an experience doing the lead if you're a follower and doing the following if you are a leader, because it
I,
really helps understanding the movement
I totally agree. Yeah.
from many aspects of it.
Yes, yeah, it really does. And it especially I went from follower to leading as well. My
Yes.
leading is still several steps below my following experience, but you're right, that understanding of how you want your follower to move, but also how you want your follower to feel when you give them those preps and those
Yes.
leads. You know what you already do and don't like and what doesn't feel good. So already from experience, you're thinking, I don't want my follower to feel like that. So you have that empathy because you have that understanding of the other role.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so when your beginners come in,
Mhm.
do you channel them immediately into partner work and leading and following, or how do you start off with your beginners?
First is essentially the fundamentals.
Okay.
This is one part that is really important. So when we know the why is to see how they feel dancing, because most of the time when the non-dancer or beginner, but they don't have so much experience dancing. So we start with the fundamentals, and knowing that having a strong fundamental is a gateway for anything. Once you have really great fundamentals, you're ready for anything. To go to classes, to go to festival, you can really assist everything
Yeah.
because the only focus you need is the partner work because the rest you have it. So we start with steps, knowing how to move steps, the body movement, combination with body and arms, and musicalities, because those four aspects is sometimes a little bit overlooked on the regular classes
Mm.
because most of the time we have 1 hour and we have this nice combination that we want to learn, but we need to learn the steps, how the body movement works, the musicality, the connection with the partner. As we learn this move in 1 hour, is a little bit overwhelmed when you just started. And
Yes.
it's what I call when you're a beginner, your first class, your 1 hour classes is called confusion because
Mhm.
you're not so sure of what happened, but it happened, and you let with a lot of confusion. So learning, be able to learn to have this connection within yourself
Mhm.
and with the music is really the gateway to get your partner ready. So this is the first step of
Yeah.
my program that I do is to get the non-dancer or beginner partner ready. And then once it's partner ready, everything starts. In which direction you will know what type of dancing you prefer. If I'm more a bachata traditional, urban, or more sensual, because you will be able to recognize the different thing.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
remember for myself, I was dancing salsa for years, but I didn't know which salsa I was dancing. So I was jumping between two different salsa. One it was Puerto Rican, and one was Cuban, and I couldn't tell the difference. It was just that it's weird. Sometimes we do this, and sometimes we do that, and I was trying my best. So having this part of understanding what dance type I'm dancing before even getting into a partner work
Mm.
is a good way to start, because you know which is more you recognize with the music, because it's important. Meaning, like when I see sometimes sensual dance on the Dominican style, why not? But is it really feel like it? You know, the nice whole body wave when the rhythm is kind of make you want to step around is a little bit difficult for me to see sometimes. But it's something that you can learn from the beginning. And when you know already that, you naturally range your step. You have your set of footwork, your step of sensuality move, and that you know when to use it and where with which music. It's
Yeah.
always come back to musicality in a sense.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. You often see or you dance with people who are leading something more sensual in a Dominican
Yeah.
passage, and it's you get that feeling of okay, we've learned the moves, and the moves are accurate moves, great, but we're not dancing to the music.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and that's very true because we start often with partner work quite early on. Um, and then footwork is something, or body movement is something that people engage with once they reach improver plus kind of level. But
Mhm.
you're right, that doesn't make as much sense. We should be able to dance with ourselves first and connect with our own bodies before we
Mhm.
can connect with someone else. That makes logical sense to me.
That's what we do in life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we learn, see how our body, even as a kids, we discover our different part of how our body work, and then it start with others. But
Yeah.
it's true. We start off a lot focusing on partner work because salsa, bachata, kizomba is a partner dance.
Yeah.
So what is logic in your head is to go through the partner work, but there's so much that you learn by doing it by yourself first.
Mm.
And you do what you don't want to do is that once you get this level, like you say, intermediate plus, you come back. That's where you want to
You
work
go
on your
back.
on your styling, because you realize that you reach the ceiling and you're missing something. That
Yeah.
the leading that I myself, from improver going to intermediate, I was feeling something was not right. That I was going through the motion, but I didn't have really a feel that I was really leading. It was
Mm.
something missing. So I came back to beginner classes and to learn how to really lead. And many people tell me, "What are you doing? You're dancing very well." I say, "Thank you," but I'm learning to lead because sometimes of in class, everybody know the combination, so we all going through the motion with the combination without taking the time to really lead it or
Yes.
to let ourselves lead. For sometimes the follower just do the movement by themselves. So I really came back to really learn how to lead. And then after just a few weeks, I was starting to see the difference.
Mm.
And all of this could have been avoided by learning also from myself doing those movements. Now, today, what I'm doing often is shadow dancing.
Okay. Yeah.
So shadow dancing is like I brought this from martial arts. When we do martial art, we do shadow martial art or shadow boxing. So we have our opponent or partner in front of us, and we can see all the movement going through. So we're moving
But
as
not
we were
touching.
really, yes. But dancing, you can really do that really well. So I prep my classes and my combination prior meeting my dance partner. So before she arrived, I really do all the move from the leader. So now also I prep them from the follower. So I
Hmm.
have both perspective. And when she arrived, we write on to the movement. And if it And when I have my hold, she fit right into my arms because what my imagination of her is realistic.
Yes.
So it's proper hand hold, body movement, everything is really more and more and more accurate. And every time I come back to do partner work with my partner or with others, is really give me miles of more experience. It's really the feeling I can see and feel a partner when I dance by myself. And this is what I try to get into the beginner feeling, because something to have like this is not much thought, and it's something you can always do. Then you don't have any excuse to not having a partner.
That's true. Yeah, we often have that excuse if I have no partner to
Yes.
practice with. Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Because it's if the aim is just to dance, then I can see people want to rush into the partner work and they want to connect with people because that's what dancing is for a lot of us, connecting with other people. Well,
Mhm.
everyone, I hope. But if the introduction into it is through self-esteem, confidence, understanding yourself, wanting to grow,
Mhm.
then that gives space for exactly what you've set up with getting some individual work done and understanding how your body moves, because none of our bodies are going to move beautifully when we first start doing something new.
Yes.
We have to figure it out. Like I might try out football for a bit and think, okay, that's doesn't feel good for my body. I might then get into swimming and think this feels amazing. But even though we have different dance styles, it's similar, and you're right in that we're figuring out which kind of vibe works for us.
Yes.
And it's that patience to go, I'm gonna get there, but I'm going to do it in a different way, not the typical progress as fast as I can. Because you're right, you get
No.
to a higher level and you kind of think, oh, I need to go back to basics now.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I've done that as well with I get through my improvers, I've got to intermediate-ish, and I think my footwork's terrible. Let me go back again and start again. And it's
Mm.
that building that confidence for me again. I was like, I'll go back and figure it out how I like to move.
It is. And that's how you build. It's like, this is where I was saying earlier, is the transfers of skills. There's things that we learn in life, and sometimes those skills and can be transferred. And when I think about martial arts, so you learn a lot of technique of self-defense that help you protect yourself or attacking, but you don't use the 100 of them that you learn. You will use maybe just 15 of them that you feel comfortable and that it kind of instinct. When you learn a range of steps, movements, it's the same. It's what make you feel more natural and comfortable that come out.
Mm.
And when you're learning this within yourself in a safe space, it's much easier than figuring it out as you dance with a partner, because there's a lot of information going on. And sometimes you're not even sure if is it me who doing wrong or is it him. Knowing your body is very important. And some people doesn't really know. It's not very easy sometimes to come out and in a group classes to say, that's I don't feel confident with my body.
Yeah.
So those space that are offered, like I have a lot of one-on-one call, so which is part of all the kind of question that you can have. There, but the myth sometimes that there is in social, all the question, or if it's a couple, that's what is good or not to do when we are in a relationship. All kind of question that I had myself experience over the decade I've been dancing, that I can respond and talk about. Sometimes they just need just to be heard,
Yes.
a safe space where we can actually talk about those things. And I understand in class it's just a short amount, because otherwise we wouldn't have a class. We would have like a meeting room, and but it's true that it's nice to have a space to be able to talk about all these questions, and it helps getting on parallel and to take out all the doubts and to really go through a change, a transformation,
Mm.
because this is what it is. As you understand more how your body works, you feel more confident. one of my students tell me one time she's older than me, and she said that I feel young again, like I found my 20s again. I was like, wow. And this is how I understand that, yes, I'm teaching right now more than a combination. She found like her old self when she was younger and dancing, because like a week ago, she was feeling that bachata, I'm too old for it. Not quite, not quite.
So that was how Coach Will became Coach Will in the dance space, moving through, not beyond, because you still are a chef, you still are a stuntman, but taking your transferable skills and growing as a teacher in bachata, which is fantastic. Thank you for sharing your methodology with us because it's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks. I want to take also time to thanks to all the students that I have so far, because they inspire me of focusing more on that aspect of teaching and coaching. And the first step can be really difficult. And I encourage everybody who have a teacher to don't be afraid to ask questions, the why and how, and don't be afraid to connect with yourself. Sometimes it could be more scary to connect with yourself than connect with others. A lot of time, the answer that we're looking for, we're having already all along, is to just being outside of our comfort zone and be able to connect and communicate with yourself. And you will find the right answer and find out that what you were looking for is already there. And you're always limiting yourself, as you say. If you think that you cannot, there's no any other reason for you to be able to do it. But the moment you think that you can, there's all beautiful reason for you to be able to do what you set yourself to do.
Thank you for listening to the Empowered Dancers podcast. If there's an aspect of the dancing you would like to hear about, or a particular teacher you would like to hear from, drop me a message and I will try to make it happen. Make sure you subscribe to get every episode as it comes out. Thank you so much for the comments and questions you are already sharing. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.